Hold on, I'll be right back. All right, so let me get. Oops, wrong button. I did not mean to save a short from that. Okay, but hey, it happens. Oops, I hit the wrong button. All right, so let's get a green screen. I think this would be a pretty cool green screen. This flower. Why not, right? I think that would be a good background. I took that outside earlier. These are some cactuses and stuff that we're growing. Pretty beautiful flowers, but they make fruit too. That's the cool thing about the cactus that we have. It makes fruit and flowers. So if you haven't ever seen a cactus flower before, there you go, cactus flower. But yeah, well, here we go. Much love, beautiful peoples. We're gonna do a afternoon story time and poems and whatnot. So we're gonna be going over my story, The Ember Bound Air. All right, so let me see. Let me check the chat and everything. Actually, I probably need to put it on. I think I need to change the chat around. Actually, let's do a Q&A too. Oh, here we go. What kind of stories do you like? There we go. What kind of story do you like? Okay, my bad if anybody's wondering what I'm doing, typing some stuff out and talking to myself. Yep, I'm a bit crazy. Stay like. Alright, there we go. Green, purple, blue. Yeah. Let's do this color. There we go. Alright. Let's put the Q&A. Start Q&A. Alright, so now when people come in here, they can see the Q. Alright, and I think I'll leave the chat public for right now. I'll try to keep an eye on it. Alright, so here we go. Afternoon story time. The ember bound air. The whisper of blood in the shattered alleys of Karak's Hollow, where rain fell like broken glass and the wind sang laments. A child was born beneath a rusted tin roof. The night thundered with a low, distant roar, and the echo of dragons long dead stirring the very stones of the earth. The newborn's cry cut through the gloom, a clear note that seemed to harmonize with that ancient unseen beast. All right, so here we go. Chapter 1, A Beggar Lament. The Shadowed Birth. The child's mother, Mira, was a wisp of a woman, her hands scarred from endless begging, her eyes hollow from a lifetime of hunger. She had been sold as on to Ravok, the cruel master of the street gang callers. Ravok's men, drunk on cheap tea, had taken turns abusing her, leaving her body a canvas of bruises. One night, as the moon hid behind a veil of storm clouds, a blinding light burst through the cracked doorway of the shanty. From the heavens descended a figure of fire and iron, wings unfurling like the sunrise. It was Michael, the great archangel, of the celestial host, his armor etched with the seal of the true king. Michael saw Mira, saw the blood on her cheek, and felt a storm ignite within. His immortal heart, with a thunderous roar, he struck Ravok and his men, shattering their bones like glass. He cradled Mira, his touch gentle despite the fury of his wings, and whispered, "You shall be safe, daughter of Ash." In that moment, a covenant was forged. Mira's womb, already bearing a child, was infused with the dragon's blood, the lineage of the ancient true king, a forgotten dynasty of celestial dragons who once ruled the heavens. The child, Kylan, would be part mortal, part angel, and part dragon. Chapter 2. The Boy Who Heard the World. And on that note, I have a phone call. Hold on, everybody. All right, there we go. All right, so chapter 2. The Boy Who Heard the World. If anybody's just now joining, we're going over chapter 2 of the story now. All right, so the boy who heard, Kaelin grew up amid the stink of refuse and the clang of broken metal. The vultures, now leaderless, fell into chaos, and the beggars of Karak's Hollow formed a ragged family. Old Nara, a toothless crone, taught Kaelin how to stretch a single loaf of bread for 10 months. A soldier showed him how to swing a stick like a sword. Yet Kaelin was different. When he cried, the cobblestones trembled. When he laughed, the fireflies swarmed. Fingertips, the hidden grief of every beggar, the flickering hope of a street child dreaming of stars. At night, under a sky scarred by smog, he would stare at the scar on his chest, shaped like a dragon's claw. His mother whispered, "One day you will rise, child of the dragon's blood. You will bring the kingdom that was promised." She never spoke of his father, and Kaelin never asked until the night the veil between the worlds thinned. Hello, much love to you. Be like water, huh? I'm going over some stories. It's story time. Chill and story time. Hopefully you're having an awesome day. All right, so now we're going to move on to chapter 3. The veil lifts. It was the festival of the falling stars, a night when the heavens wept meteors. Kaelin, now 16, slipped out of the slums and climbed the crumbling tower of Old Lantern Spire. From its summit, he heard a soft crystalline hum, like a distant choir. A portal opened, shimmering with violet light. From it stepped Princess Seraphine, heir to the galactic Austria. Her crown beloved living stars, her eyes twin supernovas. She wore a robe of woven constellations, and around her neck pulsed a gem of pure luminescence. Their gazes locked in an instant. Time folded. The world around them dissolved into a field of floating islands, each bearing ruins of ancient civilizations. The blood of dragons and Kalen urged, his scar burning like a brand. Seraphine felt it too, a trembling resonance, a thrumming resonance, the echo of a prophecy spoken among the stars. You are different, she whispered, her voice a cascade of nebular dust. I am, Kalen, he said, voice steady despite the storm of emotions. Blood of a dragon, son of an angel. Let's see, child of a beggar, blood of a dragon, son of an angel. She smiled, and the stars seemed to rearrange themselves in celebration. Love, raw and unfiltered, blossomed between them. An interstellar tide that could not be contained. Dun, dun, dun. So now we're going to move on to chapter 4. The Dark Tide. Back on Karag's Hollow, Ravik's ghost lingered. The warlock Mordrex, a twisted sorcerer who coveted the throne of the galaxy, had sensed the awakening of the true king's blood. He dispatched his minions of void, shadowy rafts with eyes of dead planets, to capture Seraphine and force her in marriage. Mordrex's black armada descended upon the city, spewing noxious fog. Our light, the beggars fled, but Kalen stood his ground. He raised his hand, and from his scar burst a flame of dragon fire, bright as the sun. The fire cut through the fog, searing the shadows. Seraphine, watching from the portal, felt her galactic power surge. She opened a stellar vortex, pulling Kalen and herself onto her starship. Astraeus, a vessel shaped like a celestial phoenix. Interesting, right? All right, so now we're going to move on to chapter 5, the Battle of the Nebula. The Astraeus raced through wormholes, leaving trails of Mordrex furious sent his legion of eclipse, warriors mounted on void dragons, beasts of darkness that fed on hope. Kalen, half dragon, discovered his true form when he spread his wings, feathers of amber and sapphire, edged with scales of molten steel. The very fabric of space trembled. He could breathe starlight, his roar echoing across parsecs. The battle unfolded in a nebular maelstrom, colors swirling like paint in the water. Seraphine, wielder of Nova, summoned solar flares that tore through Mordrek's fleet. Kalen dove, his dragon claws shattered dragons, his angelic blade, Michael's flame cutting through the darkness. In the heart of the vortex, they confronted Mordrex, a being of pure, corrupted energy. He laughed. You are a beggar. You cannot claim the galaxy. Kalen's eyes blazed. He opened his chest with a scar shaped like a dragon claw, now glowing the true king. The blood ignited, forming a sphere of living fire that expanded, merging with Seraphine's stellar power. Together, they unleashed the song of creation, a harmonic resonance that unwove Mordrek's essence, turning his darkness into pure light. The warlock fell, his empire collapsing like a dying star. The Atreus The Astrius emerged victorious, its hull bathed in celestial auroras. Chapter 6, The Return. The ship set course for Karak's Hollow. As they approached, the city's ruins began to heal. The cracked streets sprouted silver vines. The broken roofs blossomed with luminescent flowers. Beggars rose, eyes wide with wonder, as angelic whispers floated on the winds and stepped onto the soil of his birth. His mother Mira, now free from her nightmares, knelt before him, tears carving rivers through the grime on her cheeks. Michael, his father, stood at the edge of the city, wings folded, his armor shining with a soft paternal light. All right, much love, everybody. I hope everybody enjoyed the story time, and I hope everybody has an awesome day or night. And yep, much love, beautiful peoples. Until the next adventure, Mikey Fu signing out. Over and out.